Collin Sexton has these certain games, and I know he didn't lead the team in any particular category. I thought Collin Sexton was one of the most impactful players for the Utah Jazz last night. And Jake, if I said to you, how would you answer the question, what is Collin Sexton's upside?
Yeah, I mean, I think his upside can be a one or a two guard. I think he has the athletic ability to be a two guard. I think he has the scoring instincts, to be more of a two guard, but I also think he could be a one. I think for him to be a one, he's going to need some development mentally, though. I think that, understanding, being a one, you have to understand, okay, where are we at in the game? What's the score? Who's on the floor? What set am I trying to run? You just take all these things into consideration, and also the best of them who play point guard, and you saw this a lot when Mike Conley was a Jazz man. The best of them put their best scorers in the best position possible to score the basketball, which also I think is an underrated part of the NBA. And I think I love Collin Sexton's energy, but there are times where, he tries to do a little bit too much, or maybe,
Sure.
he's just that unrefined young talent. So to me, his upside is limitless, in my opinion. I think he could be one of the best in the league, provided he gets the right kind of coaching and the right kind of mentoring. And the only question I really have is how much did he, in fact, get out of Mike Conley while Mike Conley was here? Because if that paid off, and I agree, he had a nice game, if that time with Mike Conley paid off and the knowledge that Mike, gave to Collin, really stuck, then hopefully we see a lot of great things as he moves forward.
Well, I also think one of the things that he really brings is pace. He brings speed. He brings elusiveness. And this Utah Jazz team, for the last 5 years, really, and I think it's carried over into Will Hardy's time, this team has a terrible habit of walking the ball up the floor and plotting methodical offense. And in today's NBA, I think you need a guy like Collin Sexton that's going to run up the floor with his hair on fire, frankly. And I think we don't get that a lot from the Utah Jazz. Certainly not when Mike Conley was running the point. And I think, again, they're totally different players. I understand that. Mike's an older veteran point guard. I totally understand that. Collin Sexton is a young buck. He's a guy, in my opinion, who can absolutely change the pace of the game. And I think we saw that last night, and I think Indiana absolutely struggled with it. Now, they're going to have to figure out how to defend. And I know that we've talked about this on the show. One of our listeners, Ken Williams, is absolutely adamant that the games they're playing now matter. With all due respect to Ken, I don't think these games matter at all. And we have had this round and round conversation about should the Jazz be trying to win games? Well, I think you want to win every game you play. But for this Jazz team, figuring out Collin Sexton's absolute upside, I think, is really important. The Walker Kesslers of the world are absolutely really important. And it puts you in this odd tipping situation where you have Walker Kessler and Jordan Clarkson and Collin Sexton. And I would put Collin as one of the younger guys on this team, right? He's certainly not the 30-plus-year-old guy.
Totally.
But is he as important as figuring out what a THT can be to this team? Well, I don't really value Talon Horton-Tucker in the long term. I absolutely value Collin Sexton in the long term. So that's really, for me, that's the conundrum of where this Utah Jazz team is.
Yeah, and I think that this whole conversation on do games matter right now and which guys should get minutes and what's the rotation look like and, how many blocks did Blocker Kessler get? Like, all those things.
Blocker Kessler.
Yeah, Blocker Kessler. What was Malik Threasley? Like, we know all the cute names, Holly. Thank you. But what's important about these games right now is developing talent, because ultimately you're making deals right now for the future. And once that paradigm changes to making deals for the now, then winning and losing matters. But I know we've talked about it all season long, but this team is not tanking. This team, is not out to, with the intent to lose every single game. And I think guys like Collin Sexton really benefit from that. Like, if you're on a team that's tanking, if you're on a team that is intentionally losing games, your development, in my opinion, is going to suffer. Look no further than the Houston Rockets. All this great talent, but not really developing in the way that I think everybody thought that they would develop. So to me, I think the Jazz are in a great spot. I don't think that we should get hung up in the result right now. I think we should get hung up in how Collin Sexton goes about running the offense, or maybe, does Walker Kessler, develop more of a jump shot this season, or like these little games within the game. That's what I feel like we should be paying attention to.
Yeah, I love that. By the way, the Jazz are in Memphis tomorrow night to close out the first half of the season. which has been a roller coaster, and we'll talk about it on the show on Thursday. I feel like this season has been very different than any season that I ever remember from the Utah Jazz. I feel like this is one of those years where you really can't forecast anything that's happened here. You really can't, in October, you're not thinking about, well, we're going to trade all these guys. And I mean, sure, you can look forward and say, yeah, maybe we're going to trade Mike Conley, but you're certainly not planning for that in October. And then you come out and win all these games. I just think this has been a really bizarre season for the Utah Jazz. And now you're in this position where, hey, are we going to make the play-in? I mean, you're 10th in the West right now, a game under 500. Unequivocally, this road trip has been a success, I think. And you're going into the All-Star break with Lauri Markkanen, as a starter on the All-Star team, participating in the three-point contest. Like, I don't know how else to say. I think this has been a remarkably successful season for the Jazz.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for Jazz fans, like, you guys should be, on some level grateful that they're not tanking, because tanking is a miserable experience. And I don't.
Well, but is it effective?
I mean, effective to what end?
Not to interrupt you. Tanking is losing at all costs. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to have good veterans on this team. I'm going to have a ton of bad contracts. See the Houston Rockets. That's what tanking is. Tanking is not, let me make a bunch of trades and we'll hope for the best.
Right.
That's not what tanking is. Tanking is doing everything you can do to lose every game you can lose to get, in this case, Victor Wembanyama. Mm-hmm. That's what tanking is.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think, and if we go with that definition, obviously the Jazz aren't tanking. And I think, my main point has always been, when we talk about the fan experience, like, Utah Jazz fans should be grateful on some level that this team isn't tanking, because I think tanking is a miserable experience. Like, yeah, sure, you may win some games you shouldn't win, but going into the game, all right, are we going to lose by 5 or are we going to lose by 25? What's it going to be tonight, fellas? Like, what that result is going to be. And I feel like for the Jazz right now, it's much more like, hey, like, going into the Indiana game, you are 1 point favored in that game. Like, it was a tight game the whole way. You got to see, as we've been talking about, Collin Sexton do some nice things. Like, you get to really enjoy watching these guys compete for wins rather than just running it out there to play out the string. And I think that's a huge difference.
Yep, totally agree. First one in today is Tanner Plummer. Says, Monty in the afternoon.
Hey, Monty.
Yes. Exactly right. By the way, we will have drops back on Thursday.
Yeah.
Jake is just lazy, that's all. Uh-huh. Mike Chase says, I like this. Have a good show, guys. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon,
So a lot of people like us being in the afternoon. Capazzo says, what's up, Tanner? How's the weather there? It's snowing and sticking in the Jeezy.
Well.
Really, it is. I'll tell you, in Tahoe, it is bitterly cold today. It's in the middle teens to 20s, and it was in the high 40s yesterday. We have had no luck in Lake Tahoe with the weather whatsoever. What's up, Mr. Preston says, let's go. Hello, casuals. Capasso says, hit the like button. Pudge in NYC. What's up? How about Josh Hart right out of the gate for the Knicks? How about Josh Hart for the Knicks? And we talked about that as one of the undervalued moves at the deadline. Now, I think we all wanted the Knicks to go bigger. They didn't.
Right.
Josh Hart came out of the gate swinging.
Yeah, and I think, you see the offensive balance. And I think that's the beauty of a player like Josh Hart. I mean, Josh Hart is now old enough in his career where he knows the flow of the game. The game isn't too fast for him. He's going to be in the right spot. He's going to take the correct shots. He's going to move the ball when he should. Like, all the little intangibles that a 3-and-D type guy with a little bit of mid-range is going to bring to the table, he's bringing to them. And again, I think this conversation around Jalen Brunson and that addition and people talking about that's been the addition of, the year, like,
he did have 40 against Brooklyn last night.
I know. And by the way, I also think the Brooklyn thing is also another conversation piece. Like, they're playing well. Like, and I know he had 40 against them, and but
well, when you get 40 out of Jalen, and then you get 27 out of Josh Hart.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not beating the Knicks. You're not.
No.
And I think Dinwiddie, Dinwiddie's been good. I'm telling you now, you look at the makeup of that roster, Dorian Finney-Smith. I don't understand the obsession Jazz fans have with Dorian Finney-Smith. I don't see that. Mm-hmm. I've never been a fan. And he plays 29 minutes, has 9 points last night.
Yeah.
And I understand Brooklyn's in a rebuild now. I totally understand that. I think you have to be really careful who you pick up if you're the Jazz. Dorian Finney-Smith would have been a mistake.
Yeah, and I think he's one of those guys that's just a little bit too old for where you are. And this is why I say with the Westbrook thing, like, I maintain that Westbrook is not a great fit here. Like, yeah, sure, you could give him minutes and he could contribute and he could do some nice things for you. I just don't understand why. Much like I don't understand why, just like you said, why Jazz fans were obsessed with DFS. Like, I don't know, dude. I don't know.
DFS.
Yeah, I don't know how many times on sort of, well, we need to add DFS.
No, we don't.
No, we actually don't, Jazz fan.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I truly don't. Let's see. Brad Turner says, where did they go? We're right here, man. We're in Lake Tahoe. That's where we went.
Is it me you're looking for?
A lot of people have said, hey, when's your birthday? My birthday is Sunday. Dude, I'm going to be 50 years old in 5 days.
Mm-hmm. I know.
That's incredible. That's terrifying to me. Talking with Raphael podcast. What's up, dude? He says the biggest issue I have is that I keep comparing him to Donovan Mitchell's skill since the trade, but I know I shouldn't do that. Well, I don't think you should do that at all. What Donovan Mitchell is, I think Donovan Mitchell is on the cusp of being one of the very best players in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
I think he is. You got to perform in the postseason. If Don has a big postseason, look out.
Yeah.
Because now he's an MVP candidate. But I don't think they are that dissimilar, but we'll find out. Quinn B says Sexton has potential. Wesley Iyer says, I love his assist numbers of late. I agree. What's up, Greg Hawkins? How the heck are you, Greg? We got Utes for you today. This Andy Ludwig situation at Notre Dame is infuriating.
Mm-hmm.
It is absolutely infuriating. That is, we're going to talk about that coming up in about 25, 30 minutes. Stick around for that. Tanner Plummer wants to know if the Knicks are Eastern Conference contenders.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're contenders. Will they win the Eastern Conference? I don't know about that. I think that there's, to win a conference, I think you got to have really good maturity on your roster and guys who know how to make the winning play when you need it, and that remains to be seen.
And I think it is... I don't know. Contenders in the East are so interesting. I think the West clearly got better and is loaded. I don't know who the best team in the East is. There's something wrong in Boston. I'm starting to believe there's a chemistry thing there. I'm starting to believe that thing's coming apart, and I don't know how you fix that. I mean, Jason Tatum is singularly spectacular.
Right.
I have no idea what Jalen Brown is. And I want to say that Jalen's this great player, and I want to say that Jalen Brown is this guy that you got to have on your team, and he's it, but I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. And I don't know that I've ever seen a team be so reliant on one guy, and that's Marcus Smart. I think he is so important to what they do, and I think they have missed him so much in these games he's been out because they just don't have chemistry. They don't have... I don't know what the word I'm looking for is because they're still a really good team, but they just don't have it.
Uh-huh.
You know, that little intangible that you can't, well, that team needs a point guard, and I don't know what that it factor is for Boston, but they're missing it.
Yeah, the it factor that helps you win Game 6 at home to win the NBA Finals, like, that it factor, like I just think that team right now is whether it's chemistry or whether it's Marcus Smart having been out, like I don't know either, but to me, it's one of these situations where, Jalen Brown has to get better. He has to continue to grow. And I do think there are a lot of times where Jalen goes cold in the postseason, and there are equally other times where he's hot. But I think Jason Tatum has clearly stepped into a superstar, consistent performer role, and you can rely on him. But Jalen Brown has always been the key figure. Like, I know what Al Horford's going to do out of the corner. I know what, these other guys, like Pritchard coming out and saying, hey, like at the deadline, I was expecting to be traded just because it's the nature of the beast, but, I'm here and I'll do whatever I can do. Like, they have a lot of locker room guys, a lot of, pro team guys, and that's great. But do they have enough to win? I don't know that they have enough. Like if I said, hey, Boston or Phoenix, well, you're probably going to go with Phoenix. If you said Boston or, I don't know, Memphis, I don't know. To me, that's a really tight game because I think Memphis is grittier than Boston. I think Memphis would work harder for it, but I don't know. So that's what I'm saying. Like Boston
has Grant Williams. And
right.
He's amazing.
Right.
He and Desmond Bane are two guys I want to punch in the face.
Yeah.
That would probably not be good. I would go to jail for that, but you get my point. CJ Vance, what's up, my guy? He says, yeah, I think winning games for playoff position isn't the goal with this team, but winning games to build a winning culture.
Right.
Well, and I think a lot of that is on Will Hardy. Will Hardy's going to have to figure out how to fix the defensive end of the floor. Because I think, again, last night, Indiana probably should have won that game. Probably could have, should have, would have. But we're watching that game, and the Jazz just go to sleep defensively. I mean, I don't know how you explain the way that Indiana got so many good looks from three. Now they missed them. They shot horribly. But they got a lot of really good looks. And Jordan Clarkson, I mean, absolutely stole Holly Rowe's heart in the second half. And she was gushing about him repeatedly. We get it. He had a great second half. But defensively, this Jazz team, that's what worries me, CJ, when we talk about winning games to build a winning culture. I think winning an NBA championship starts with defense, and this team just does not play a lot of defense.
And I think that goes right back into the leadership piece. Defense has always been, hinged on good leadership and someone bringing that energy. And that's where I say, you had mentioned earlier that you love Collin's energy, and I love Collin's energy. I think it's one of the best parts of his game.
Yep.
The problem is that energy oftentimes isn't channeled into leadership. Like, it's great to be flying up the floor and flying back and, being slap your hands on the floor guy in defense, but you also got to make the right plays. And that's what I'm saying. It's not just like, hey, you have all this energy. It's, okay, great, you have all this energy. That's awesome, but you got to make the right play. There's so many times where Collin will go under. He should have gone over, vice versa. He switched when he shouldn't have. Like, there's just those little things that he is growing on right now.
Yeah, I would agree, and I love slap your hand on the floor guy.
Yeah, and he's that guy, and that's fine.
Hey, bro, we're not shooting until we make 37 passes and
Everyone's
we run a couple
the ball.
Run off the picket fence, and then little Jimmy's going to come off a screen and knock down the game winner, okay?
Yeah.
All right, go team.
Go team.
And then everybody slams their hands on the floor and gives up a wide open layup without a body. Anyway, I love slap your hands on the floor guy.
Yeah.
I do. I truly, it's one of my absolute favorites. Hey, all of our Utah Jazz talk and NBA talk here on the Monty Show, presented by our good friends at Quick Quack Car Wash. I say it every day. I don't understand. And listen, I know I'm a good-looking dude.
Right.
And I drive just a really nice car, but I don't understand why people can't stop and won't stop checking me out.
Okay, guys, I'm going to tell you the secret to impressing my neighbors, the wife, coworkers, you name it. I just swing by Quick Quack. It seriously takes 2 minutes, and people can't stop, won't stop checking me out. Getting a clean car is definitely my best life hack. Kids are messy, camping's dirty, but my truck sure isn't.
It's my guy, man.
Dude, he's a stud,
Can't
bro.
stop, won't stop checking me out. I love the guys at Quick Quack Car Wash because of that kind of mentality, that sense of humor, but the car comes out of the other end of the tunnel looking beautiful.
Yeah.
The car wash is exquisite at Quick Quack. You get free towels, you get a free vacuum, you get the vacuum attachment for the accessories. And again, the people are great. Those are all entrepreneurs that own Quick Quack Car Wash. So no matter where you are, pull out the phone, find a Quick Quack Car Wash, and make sure you tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show. Hey, excuse me, speaking of sponsors, coming up in 10 minutes, a big ad to the showroom.
Yes.
Really a big deal. In 10 minutes, we are going to tell you about our newest partner on the show, and I am so stacked. I just can't wait.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's very exciting. One that you guys know, one that you guys will be able to easily get, one that you may already be using every day. So definitely excited.
Andy H says, with the white wall, the Chico stash and the soul patch stand out a lot.
Okay.
So, Jake, he says you have a Chico stash.
Should I turn the light down? Is that what...
You have a Chico stash.
Is that what you want me to do? I mean, okay, so we're going to turn the light down. What do we think?
Is that better?
Is that better?
Woo, man, that is way better on my eyes, I'll tell you that. There you go. Leave it right there. I like that.
Okay, cool.
It's Valentine's Day. Let's turn the lights down
Fake-ass
low. Hit it, yeah. Turn the lights down. Anyway, appreciate it, Andy. Quinn B says, could you see the Jazz possibly picking up Cameron Johnson in the future? I think he'd fit good with this squad. Well, the problem is now he's a Brooklyn Net. And in my mind, he's an elite 3 in this league. He is the future of threes. He's got to stay healthy, though. He's another guy. He's played a lot of basketball. He's had a not insignificant knee injury, and I know that's talking around it.
Right, yeah.
He had a big knee injury, and that really concerns you because he's relying on running, jumping, twitch. Like, that's a big deal for a guy of his size and position. But Cam Johnson's skill set, there's not a team in the NBA who doesn't want Klay Thompson on their team.
Yeah.
Because those two guys, I think, are very similar. They play a very similar role. They're both really tenacious defenders. I mean, and I still maintain the steal of that deal was Mikal Bridges.
Yeah, well, and I think when you hear, hey, teams were willing to offer 4 first-round picks, like, that's kind of an insane number for Mikal Bridges. And hey, I mean, he's a hell of a player. I'm not taking anything away from the guy. Just that's still 4 first-round picks. Like, that's still a ton of capital. But to answer the question, I mean, yeah, I think Cam Johnson fits in with the team fine.
Yeah.
The only issue with that is that we are already getting, under the radar, talk around it, spiel from Devin Booker about re-adding these guys in the summer of 2026. So to me, it's if they're going to go anywhere, I would think it's back to Phoenix because that's where they want to play, but remains to be seen.
Andy H. also wants to know who's supposed to be sitting in the middle seat.
This is Casper the Ghost right here, bro.
Yeah, this is the Monty Show Ghost right here.
Yeah,
we're just chilling with the
chilling in the
Monty
cut.
Show Ghost. No, Mrs. Monty will join us for the non-sports stories of the day.
Making her return.
She making her much anticipated return to the showroom.
Yes.
Appreciate you asking. Eric C. What's up, Eric? He says, got a point there, Tanner, because Tanner said, unlike Alec Burks, Sexton goes downhill effectively. Well, the guy's a rocket ship. I mean, Collin Sexton plays at a very fast clip. And I think he's one of those guys you want on your team.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. Andy H., checking out my soul patch, says Sexton is definitely late game valuable with that drive to the bucket. And I value that. I value that. Andy, I think that's a great point because you can give him the ball and he is a bucket getter and he's quick enough to get to the rack and get fouled. I just have some hesitation over his willingness to kick that ball to an open shooter.
Well, and I don't know if it's willingness or it's just not going through his head. Like, is the game too fast for him right now, or is it actually a willingness thing?
No, I wouldn't say it's too fast for him. I think he is a guy who likes to put the ball in the bucket. I mean, he's a Jordan Clarkson mindset guy, and there's value to that. But when you look at the way that teams collapse on Collin Sexton, when he gets over, I mean, he breaks center court, and they're already trying to figure out where that double's coming from.
Yeah.
There's always a guy open in the corner or on the diagonal kick. I mean, always. It's just a matter of him trusting that, him seeing that, and then him executing that. Because too many times, I think we all know, you look at the first half last night on Jordan Clarkson in our members-only group, we were talking about this on Instagram last night, that Jordan Clarkson there are halves that are going to happen like that. Those are becoming fewer and farther between for Collin Sexton. Those really bad stints.
Bad shots, bad turnovers,
real
bad
hardy
pace.
Conversations.
Yeah.
That to me.
Sure.
Yeah. Merc Life, who's a member of the program, says that's better. Okay,
Thank
so
you,
the
Merc
lighting
Life.
is better, Merc. I appreciate that.
You can call me pretty. It's okay. You can say that.
You're not, though. Why would you say that?
Well, I think I am.
Okay.
And that's what matters.
And that's what matters.
Yeah.
Gumby Too Sexy says, so nice of Monty. Hey, Monty.
Hey, Monty.
To get us an afternoon program.
Excuse me, it's Showgram.
It's Showgram.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thank
Austin Napierski, what's up, my guy? Long time no see, y'all. I like this afternoon stuff more than the morning. Well, again.
Yeah. We're piloting it. We're test piloting it. We're testing it. We're, trialing it. We're checking it out.
Yes.
So let us know. We've been getting a lot of good feedback on it. And if we keep getting good feedback, who knows? Maybe it sticks.
What do you like most about the afternoon?
Yeah, I mean, wow, it's snowing in Tahoe right now.
Yes,
just all of a sudden. Wow, okay.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah, in the afternoon. Well, I mean, what I like most about afternoons is obviously the sleeping portion. I mean, there's no question that getting up, at 3:50 every day is really tough. I mean, we get up We have been getting up. We're getting up at 3:50. We're at the Maverick Center most days, and we're not in Lake Tahoe. We're there usually between 4:48 and 4:50. As specific as that is, that's usually the time. We walk through. We hear a bunch of odd stuff as we're walking the empty building that early in the morning. And then, by the time we get done with the show, do some shorts, call some people because we sell our own show. It's already 4 o'clock and we don't even have time for the gym. So we felt like, hey, why don't we take a look at when people watch our show? And what we found is that a lot of our viewership is in fact in the afternoon. And so we felt like, hey, if people are already if most people are already watching in the afternoon, because YouTube tells us that, if most people are already watching in the afternoon, what would happen if we started doing the showgram in the afternoon? Well, we could go to the gym in the morning. We could have a more regulated sleep schedule.
Right.
One of the things you've talked about, which I think is a great point, is on weekends we can feel more normal, because we won't be falling asleep at 7:30, not exaggerating. That's when I start getting tired. So it just helps us facilitate a more normal lifestyle, if you will.
Yeah, it is hard to describe the way down effect of 3:50 in the morning. Unless you've experienced it or you get up at that time every day, you just don't understand the burnout effect of that. So, it is,
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
I love it. And again, we appreciate everybody who's a member of the show. We always throw this stuff out to our membership group first. They help us make these decisions very clearly. I think we're probably going to wind up staying in the afternoon. We'll let you know on Friday when we do the show, because I feel like that's what everybody's told us. The feedback overwhelmingly has been afternoon.
Yes.
So there's a real good chance that's going to happen. But I say, if you are not a member of the program, I just put the link in the chat section. Consider joining. It's $9.99 a month. You get exclusive access to all kinds of things. Our Big 5-0 birthday bash is coming up with Brant Keithy from Utah and Max Tooley from BYU. That's March 10th at the Maverick Center. When the Kansas City Mavericks are in town, the guys are going to hang out with us, watch the game. You'll be able to get pictures with Max Tooley and Brant Keithy. There will be all kinds of door prizes. It's going to be amazing. And it is going to be brought to you by our newest sponsor.
Yes.
This one's a big one for me.
Yeah.
This one is a big one for me because, here on the Monty Show, we really work hard every day to deliver you guys partnerships, like whether it's the Advocates, they're local, they're in your community, right? Or Quick Quack or Barbecue Pit Stop. All of our partners are with us because they're locally owned businesses. And I think when you looked at Bucked Up Energy, there is no better example of a local entrepreneur who has built an empire.
Yes.
And at Bucked Up, they are now the official energy drink of the Monty Show.
The Showgrum.
I am thrilled to have Bucked Up on the show. I drink Bucked Up. Zero. My favorite flavor is Miami.
Yes.
But what would one of our partners be without a promo code, right?
Right.
Make sure you get to buckedup.com and use the promo code Monty. In the description of this YouTube show below, there is a link. You can get free samples. You get 3 free samples with a shaker cup. Just use the promo code Monty. I'm telling you guys, Bucked Up is going to hook you up. They have great locations all across the state of Utah. We shop at their South Jordan store.
Yes.
You go into the Bucked Up store locally. They're really friendly. The staff is great. They have all of their product, and it's not just energy drinks, right? They do pre-workouts. They do all kinds of fitness supplements, clothing, bars, you name it. Cups. Their shaker cups are amazing.
Yes.
You name it, Bucked Up has it, and it's just a thrill for us to have Bucked Up on the show. Love it, dude. Absolutely love it. I am thrilled.
Yes.
To welcome Bucked Up to the show. And again, buckedup.com. Use the promo code Monty to get 20% off. And trust me, they're priced so well that 20% off is a really good discount.
Yeah.
At buckedup.com. I am just thrilled to have them on board.
Yeah, and it's great. It is really, when I first found Bucked Up, I found them on the energy drink portion of their business. Obviously, they have a lot of different lines that you can utilize. But my biggest thing was, just how it tastes. Like, I think, I would say I'm not someone who's had a ton of different brands of energy drinks, but I've had my fair share, and I feel like I know what good ones are and what bad ones are, just as you guys probably have as well. And my favorite thing about the zero energy, because that's what we like, zero sugar energy drink. That's one of my favorite things. My favorite part about it is it's really easy to drink. The flavor's good. The carbonation doesn't blow you away. Like, it's not too much carbonation. Like, it's a really good, well-made product. And that's why we decided to go ahead and partner with them, because we really enjoy it. And we thought, hey, like, you're already, going to, convenience stores. You're going into these different places. It's a really accessible thing. And hey, if you're a gym goer, if you like to pump iron and work out, or you're an Iron Man like the mayor of Montytown, Jeremy Bolton, you can get on the Bucked Up Life. I mean, it's just really good stuff.
Yeah, and I again would tell you, go into their retail locations, because I'm a huge fan of dealing with people locally. So again, American Fork, St. George, everybody in the Jeezy.
The Jeezy, where I guess it's snowing, apparently, we've heard.
And by the way, we're sitting here doing the show in Lake Tahoe.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it is just a blizzard outside.
Yeah.
Like, out of nowhere. It's a blizzard, but you can find Bucked Up stores in American Fork, St. George, Murray, Farmington Station, South Jordan, which is a store that I shop in.
Yes.
I love the South Jordan store. They're also in Rexburg, Idaho, Twin Falls, Idaho Falls. So find a Bucked Up store, walk in the store, say, hey, we heard about you guys on the Monty Show. We want our 20% discount.
And they will hook you up. They will hook you up.
They also said if you walk into one of their local stores, they'll give you a free can of Bucked Up Energy.
Take a picture with it. Yeah. Show us.
And trust me when I say we'll hook you up, the Monty Big 5-0 Birthday Bash presented by Bucked Up Energy. We're super thrilled to have them on board for the event and on the show. And it's fantastic. I love it. So let's see what you guys think. Day Old Donut says, I have had Bucked Up from Vaza. It's not too bad. Burps on the treadmill are sort of fun. Right? There you go. Exactly right. I am a...
What is I'm spacing the apple flavor. What is it?
Orchard.
Orchard's my favorite flavor. That's the one that I like the most.
No, I'm a Miami guy. Yeah, for Bucked Up, I'm a Miami guy.
Right.
So buckedup.com, you can, all of their supplements, all of their energy drinks come in Miami.
Right.
But that's, again, when I tell you, next time you're at Harmon's, next time you're at Walmart, pick up a can of Bucked Up Zero Miami. You'll love it. It is, like a pina colada really is what the flavor reminds me of.
Yeah.
It's my favorite. Their whole line's great though. They have, if you're somebody that likes fruity, if you're somebody that likes sour, if you're somebody that likes no taste, like they have something for everybody. The black can, by the way, is 300 milligrams of caffeine. The white can's 100. So they have something for everybody at buckedup.com. Welcome them to the show. We need you guys to turn out. We need you guys to engage with our friends at Bucked Up because that's how this thing goes round. You guys do a great job of, working with people like Papa Murphy's and working with people like Quick Quack and Barbecue Pit Stop. We need you to hook it up at buckedup.com. Use the promo code Monty to get 20% off your purchase of $20 or more. So there you go. There you go.
So awesome.
Greg Hawkins says, I like energy drinks, but I've always been a black coffee kind of guy.
Well,
oh, dude. Mrs. Monty is a coffee drinking fool.
A connoisseur.
I am not a coffee drinker at all.
Right.
I am an energy drink guy. And again, that everything that we promote on the show as a partner, they're generally lifestyle things that we use. And Bucked Up is absolutely one of those things that we use. Like you guys have noticed, we've had the cans and the cups with us.
Yes.
For a couple of months now, and it's just something that it's good.
Yep.
We like it.
Yep.
Let's see who else is in on this. Andy H says, too bad it's snowing there. Northstar is a great course. It is.
It is.
Northstar is the place where I really feel like I learned to ride. So yeah, we appreciate that. Tanner T says, can we move this back by 1 hour? What do you mean?
Wait, what do you mean by that? Yeah, what do you mean?
You got to explain that a little bit. The Monty Ghost says, you're really going to give Mrs. Monty my seat? Yes.
Sorry, dude.
Yes.
And by the way, because we're thinking about this afternoon thing, your spot in the morning of turning the doorknob is going away as well. So you might want to re-strategize.
That's what I'm saying. Tim L says Killa OJ is amazing from Bucked Up.
There you go.
Mrs. Monty's favorite flavor is the OJ. I can't remember the name of what is it? Gin and Juice.
There you go.
Which is a citrus flavor.
Right.
She's a big Gin and Juice fan, which is good. Tanner T says drive home. We're right in the main work time. Oh, well, we'll be on for 3 hours.
Yeah, we'll be on for 3 hours, my guy.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
We'll be here on your drive home. Don't worry about it. Tanner T said, I need to be making dials right now. Hook it up, dude.
Dude, where are you dialing at? Where are you dialing
what do you do,
at,
Tanner?
Dude? Yeah.
Oh, man, that gives me a little flashback to the Yelp.
Rudy Sanchez in our membership group on Instagram used the terminology Yelpatorium the other day, which brought me back to our Yelp days.
Yes.
So where are you dialing?
Tanner Plummer says, did Bucked Up just open up? No, not at all. Bucked Up's been around for years. They have a ton of new retail stores.
Yes.
Which I'm a guy that believes in sending you to the retail store, but I mean, the app is... Downloading their app or shopping online at buckedup.com is so easy.
It is, yeah.
And again, they give us a great 20% off at Bucked Up is freaking phenomenal.
It's a lot of product, bro.
It really is. It is a difference maker. It saves you a lot of money.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about energy drinks, 20% off is a big deal. Scammer Trolling says my favorite flavor is winning. Okay. Winning. I have not had winning. Brent Burnett says Doak has been playing better, which starts with playing guys like him. I don't ever want to see Doak.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pass on Doak.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Blessed T says, love you guys. You're the best. When I finally get paid, I'll tip. Super soaking every day.
My guy.
Wow. And he also says hashtag super soak world.
Okay. I like it.
M. Morris says used to dial with the owners of Bucked Up.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Okay, I like it. Guess I'll have to spend my mornings with Aaron Rodgers in the New Jersey basement.
Well, listen, he is, Darkness Retreat. We're going to get to that today.
By the way, there is an update on the Darkness Retreat coming up on Football at 50 in about, 12 minutes. Stick around for that.
The Darkness.
Scammer Trolling says, can we talk about Ukraine and Russia? No, not right now. No, man. Maybe in the non-sports stories of the day.
Look, if you were a member, you could request that. So you might want to think about that, and then we'll talk about it.
Yep. Let's see. Mr. Preston says Woke AF is a great pre-workout supplement. Bucked Up. Woke AF is going to light your world on fire.
Yeah.
That's one of those supplements where you got to be like, whoa, dude, that's a 3:50 a.m. supplement.
That's some Collin Sexton level energy right there.
Quinn B says you guys are by far my favorite people that cover the Jazz. So I appreciate that, man.
I appreciate that.
Appreciate that, dude. Thank you very much. So, yeah, welcome Bucked Up to the show. Get to buckedup.com. Make sure you use the promo code Monty to get 20% off your purchase of no, it's just off your purchase. See?
Yeah.
It's so ingrained in my head.
It's just off your purchase.
Buckedup.com, 20% off your purchase when you use the promo code Monty.